Fantasy Philosophers is brought to you by fantasy-info.com.
Let's talk a minute here to talk about Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs. This is a situation I've been writing about early, back in the spring. We wrote our fantasy rankings with Bradshaw. I mean, really, you look back at what he did. He had a yard per carry average the season before of around 5. I really liked him last season. He did have his nicks and injuries. He did have to have a couple minor surgeries this offseason, so it does speak to the fact that maybe he's not the type of guy, and I don't know that he ever was projected to take over 250 touches in a season or anything of that nature. But here's what we have to pay attention to with this. Is that Brandon Jacobs, he did have surgery on the knee. It wasn't major surgery, but he did have to have cleanup on that knee. That was a problem for him last year when he was just anemic. So with Bradshaw, he has been the number one running back on the first team that's been running in Giants camp so far this training camp, and Jacobs has been the number 2 man. I think what they may be doing is maybe a Julius Jones, Marion Barber a la type of feel we saw a few years back where Brandon would just kind of come in as the bruiser later. That actually makes a lot of sense. As you can have Ahmad Bradshaw kind of do the running, some hard running early on, and then let Jacobs just pound and wear on a defense as the game moves along. Because Jacobs really looked like he was pounded on, and I just don't think he's the type of guy that can take a lot of carries in and of himself. You think big guy, physical, but he's definitely not a guy that's ever going to go 300 plus, for the rest of his career. So look for this situation to keep brewing. As far as Ahmad Bradshaw, I think he very well may end up as the starter on this team to begin the season. That makes him a fantasy relevant player. If he is starting week 1, I think he's a decent flex play option for your team, but you should probably be able to get him cheaper than that for sure and get him as a nice stash away player. The Giants offense, hey, he fits well. Even if they start throwing the ball a lot, he could still fit well as kind of a slash type running back, maybe like a Felix Jones type when he's in for the Dallas Cowboys. That's the type of situation we're looking here with Bradshaw. So big plays he can make, that's for sure. Keep Bradshaw on your roster. I think he's going to be probably a decent little flex play option to a very nice player to use as in a backup role. So he is definitely becoming more and more of a sleeper option for the 2010 fantasy season.
For more fantasy football information, go to fantasy-info.com and sign up for our free e-newsletter. Good luck in your 2010 Fantasy Football League. As an added bonus, the Fantasy Info guys will include their 5 secret tips for success in fantasy football with your free subscription.